Hey everybody, it's your boy, Sean McLaughlin, at Options Sean on Twitter. Today's September 4th, 2025. It is September 4th, right? Yeah, September 4th, 2025. Hope everybody's doing well. Hope you're skating back into the swing of things. The summer has kind of come to an end for you. It still feels like summer where I'm at, temperature-wise, which is nice. But all the kids are back in school now. I know, my son started a few weeks ago, but I know many of you people on the East Coast, school's just getting started this week. So getting back into the swing of things. The market isn't really doing a whole lot yet. In fact, we talked about this in our analyst call this morning with the team that yeah, it's like, Labor Day comes and goes and we think, okay, boom, the markets are going to get really super active right away. Well, that's not exactly how it works. Maybe give it a week. But the markets is starting to wake up. But let's go to the charts here. I want to bring up QQQ and it's the same story in SPY, but I want to point something out. I talked about this on the morning show a little bit, but in case you guys missed it, I've noticed a very curious pattern the last 2 months. I don't know what it means. It might mean nothing, right? But look at here on August 1st. Let's zoom in a little bit so you can see a little better. Right here, here's August 1st. Notice how at the end of July, August 1st, we had a big an ugly red candle on the last day of July, gap down on August 1st, and then we drift higher, right? Well, here we are, end of August, the last trading day of August, we had a big red candle, gap down, and now we're drifting higher. Are we seeing this same pattern play out again? It feels like it. Are we going to be back at new all-time highs in the next week or so? Feels like it. What does this mean? I don't know. Does it mean anything? Am I just being a conspiracy theorist here? People are like selling selling the last day of the month and buying the next day. I don't know. I don't know, but it's a very curious pattern that has revealed itself over the last 2 months. And there's been a lot of talk about seasonality. August and September are pretty tricky months traditionally for the markets. Doesn't mean this is where bear markets begin or crashes happen, but it's more just markets tend to be a little choppy, a little sideways during this month. And we're certainly seeing that, right? We're looking at the cues right here. If I bring up SPY, the same story, right? We've been just pretty choppy the last couple of months. We're in a long strangle here in SPY. That's why you see that thing there. Hasn't done anything yet. That long strangle is looking pretty sweet on September 2nd. It looked like we were going to get paid on the downside, but we're right back to where we started. So, but that's okay. That's okay. But yeah, so the market's kind of going sideways. VIX isn't telling us anything either. Let me pull up VIX. We had a little spike, the last couple of days, but the spike kind of petered out right below 20, and we're getting right back into the range, right back into the muck. So not a whole lot going on. Some notable things today. Peloton, these are the open positions in the ASO portfolio right now. Mixed bag, a bunch of green, bunch of red. Peloton is the outlier to the upside. Is this thing finally going to start working for us? I mean, our January 8 calls are in the money. I shouldn't say finally. This thing has been working for us, but our January 8 calls are in the money now. This thing's really setting up. We were talking to our friend Jeff Mackey this morning. He's a big bull on Peloton, and he knows more than anybody on the retail space, and he likes it. If he likes it, I like it. Just leave it at that, right? And I was also talking about Medtronic today in my analyst call. I really like what's going on with our Medtronic position. We got into this July and the end of July. It's been a roller coaster, right? I mean, look at this chop fest we've been in, including this big gap down on earnings. But it opened very low, but just basically retraced all day and continued through the next day. Sloppy action, but it continues to hold high in the upper range here. I feel like this thing's getting about ready to go. Feeling good about this position. It's not winning for us yet, but we have until June of next year. So we got a lot of time. Got a lot of time. So those things are starting to move. I like it. By the way, I should have said at the top of the show, guys, I apologize. This is the All-Star Options Jam session where we review activity in the portfolio of stocks that we're in, positions that we're in, options positions that we're in. We will review any exits. We only have one exit to talk about this week. We review exits of the past week, and We update stops on existing positions, and we'll touch upon new trades that we've added over the last week, holiday shortened week. So let's get into the positions that we've exited. It's only one, like I said, and this trade was a winning trade, although it kind of felt like a loser going out the door, which is a bummer. But we were long a bull call spread in Viva Systems, ticker VEEV. We got in mid to late May. We had a nice earnings gap. We were playing for that. When I put the trade on, I had a feeling that earnings would be a catalyst to send this stock higher. It did so, but the meat of the move really just happened following earnings, and the thing just went sideways for 2-3 months. And unfortunately, it broke below the basically the low of the range. I didn't like that. Plus, these were September options expiring this month. So we closed the trade. I think it might be a good move here. We got out at 1985. Now it's still a win, still a nice win. We paid 12.75 when we got in on day one, closed it at 1985. So that's a nice win. That's about I don't know, a 50% profit on our invested capital. Not bad for, a few months of work. Had higher hopes though when this thing was up here, when it peaked out around 295 twice. It got to 295 twice. I thought for sure we were going to get the $300 roll, which is where I was going to take profits. Never did quite get there. But we are out of Viva Systems. Congrats to any of you who got into that trade with me. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. Excellent. All right, so since we don't have many exits to talk about today, let's talk about some updated stops. We do have a number of updated stops in no particular order here. We are in First Majestic Silver Corp. That's ticker AG. This trade started out as a call calendar spread where we sold the July 9 calls and purchased the December $9 strike calls. We did the calendar spread because I didn't want to pay full price for those December calls. They were a little bit more money than I wanted to spend. And so, also, it was a little bit more money than I wanted to spend. Also, I thought that there was a good chance that AG, although I was bullish, I didn't think it would get above $9 before July expiration. So I got into this trade on June 6th, right? So I had about 5 weeks or so until July expiration. And I thought, I like this trade. I'm bullish, but I don't think it's going to get above 9 before my options expire. Now, check this out. It actually did get above 9. Actually, yeah, I did get above 9 on July 16th, on July 14th, but it was there very, very briefly, and it came right back down. And I was able to close those calls for 5 cents, those July calls for 5 cents, which is great. I probably could just let them expire worthless, but I was willing to pay 5 cents just to have it off for the last couple of days before expiration. So now I have the December 9 calls unfettered, right? The possibility for unlimited gain. And that's nice because the stock has been starting to work for us. I don't really love the action of the last 2 days, but we've been here before, right? We've seen pullbacks like this. We saw it in middle of July and then into the end of July. This is a volatile stock, but right now, I like it. I'm moving my stop up to 850. So any closing price below 850 will get me out of AG. So there you go. That's the updated stop there. Next up, Hut 8 Corp. This is one of those crypto miners. We're long the September 2026. So we got a lot of time on this one. Okay. We got a lot of time. I wanted to move my stop up one more time, right up to about the level where we first entered. We got into this trade in late July. This level here, this 21 level, which is right about the level the stock was when we got in. I'd hate to see Hut give that back. I'm probably not going to raise my stop anytime soon for a little while on this one because we have so much time. We have September till September 2026, so over a year, or exactly a year from now, really. So I'm going to give this thing a little time. I'm moving my stop to 21, and then I think I'm going to stay put right there for a little while at least until this thing breaks out and makes new all-time highs above 32. If we can get above 32, then maybe I'll consider raising my stop and locking in some profits. But for now, Hut 21. All right. LHX, level 3 Harris Technologies. We're long December 300 calls. We're playing for the $300 roll, and it's starting to move our way. It's not going as fast as I'd like it to, but it is moving our way. I am moving my stop now to 265. I don't want to see it get below 265. that would be a troubling development for me for my thesis. So the new stop in LHX is 265. By the way, if you guys have any questions about any of these trades, feel free to drop them in the chat there. I will try to answer your question as best as I can. All right, Ralph Lauren. Gotta love the action of Ralph Lauren over the last 3 days, breaking out. This is why we got into this trade. These are the types of moves we're looking for. It took a little while, right? It took a little while. We got in on July 21st, and it chopped around. I believe this was an earnings gap here on August 7th, but it's finally paying off. The 50-period moving average held firm. We traded through it briefly on the earnings day, but we closed above it, and it continues to be support. And now the stock is springboarding off of it to new all-time highs. I'm feeling pretty good about this. I am now raising my stop to 285. It's kind of hard to see there, but 285 is my new stop in Ralph Lauren. Any closing price below 285 gets me out of this trade. Okay, next up, Sand. That's Sandstorm Gold. Got into this trade not too long ago. August 20th, I believe, was the date. We were buying the dip. So far, buying the dip seemed like a good idea. It's looking like a good idea. I'm raising my stop now to 10. I don't want to see Sand roll over and get below 10. This can be a volatile stock and it can move in a hurry. So if it gets below 10, I'm out. Or if it sees a closing price below 10, I'm out. Of course, my risk is defined here, right? I paid 40 cents. I can't lose any more than that. But if this thing continues ripping, if these $12 calls get in the money, we could be sitting on a really fat gain here in Sand. All right, but for now, the stop is 10. Okay, here's a bearish trade that's working in a bull market. Gotta love it. We're long the November 25 puts here in the Simply Good Foods Company, ticker SMPL. We got in, and it looked like when we got in, the markets were laughing at us because the thing did nothing but rally right after we got in. But it bumped up against some overhead supply, and it got kicked back down, right back to lows. I'm using this little reaction that happened right after we got in. That's kind of like my level now. That's clearly a significant level, that 30-50 area. So I don't want to see Simply Foods get back above 30-50. If it does, I'm going to close these puts. But for now, these puts are looking pretty good, I think. I mean, I think we're down a little bit because we're starting to run out of time. But I like this pattern. This thing could really start moving. So I'm lowering my stop now to 30-50. Last up is Warby Parker, ticker WRBY. I'm long to December 30 calls. We've been in this thing for a while now. We got in early June. It's just kind of slowly plodding our way. It's been a wild ride these last couple of weeks. This big red candle here was earnings, of course, on August 7th. You know, this line up here, this 29, I want to take some profits there. I was going to sell half of my position if it gets there. And you can see that we got through 29 on this day, on the 7th, but it was there. It was so fast. It happened right at the open. Didn't really have a chance to pull the trigger on that, unfortunately. So we're still in a full position here. If we get back up to 29, I will take some off the table. But I'm raising my stop now to 24. 24 is the new stop in Warby Parker. All right, so that's all I got for stops. Dominic, I see your comment there. Is there a bigger story behind the SMPL short or just taking advantage of price action? Thank you. That's a good question. And maybe that's not something we talk about a lot here at All Star Options, but the story, whatever the story is, Dominic, I don't really care what the story is. To me, I just care about price action. And for me, price action is down. All right. I'm looking at this trade for two reasons. Number one, I like it on its own. I'm looking at this chart. It's a bearish chart. Stock, when I got into it, what got me in was this day here. This felt like it was a significant breakdown. It was breaking down some support and about to go much lower. I was wrong, at least temporarily. But I got into it because I didn't like the chart, or I should say I liked the chart from a bearish perspective, right? Secondly, I got into this trade, and I do like to get into bearish trades in a bull market just for nothing else than portfolio diversification, right? I have a lot of bullish exposure on right now. I got a lot of bullish trades on. I don't have a whole lot of bearish exposure. I've got a few. And so I like to have that just in case, if the market rolls over hard, takes a lot of my positions with it. It's good to know that I've got some bearish positions on to cushion the blow a little bit. So it's a portfolio diversification play, and it's just a straight up chart play. I don't like the chart. or the chart looks bearish to me, I want to take advantage of that. I don't know what the story is behind the stock, Dominic. I don't know. I don't even know what they do. If I'm being completely honest, I know they're in the food business. I think maybe they do vegan and vegetarian foods, maybe packaged goods. I don't know. It doesn't matter to me. These are all just letters and numbers. All right. All right. So that's it with the updated stops. The last thing I'll review real quick is the new trades we've put on this past week. Hi, Dan. I see you, buddy. Hey, Dan. Good to see you. We've had 2 new trades this week. It's a holiday shortened week, so we didn't have any trades to put on Monday. But since we last spoke last week, we've entered trades in Invent Electric, an electric company. I'm loving this high and tight flag here. I think this is very bullish development. I thought we were breaking out here, and I was getting a great opportunity to buy a dip, and maybe I did have a good opportunity to buy a dip. I got into this trade on the 29th on Friday. I might be early, but this is a very bullish pattern, at least where I come from. And I like these kind of patterns. And if this thing breaks higher, if it breaks out above 93, let's call it, I think this thing could be off to the races. If you want the details of this trade plan, the whole written plan about the setup, what I like about it, what option strategy I'm using, how I'm managing risk, how I'm sizing my position, where I may or may not be taking profits. If you want any of those details or all of those details, you can find that at allstarcharts.com. Head to the members section, head to the options section. You'll find all the detailed trade plans for every trade that we do at All Star Options. If you don't have access to that, there's a link in the chat. Head to the chat. You can sign up for All Star Options. Get involved. Join the community. We have a great community. We have an online chat room where me and all of our customers hang out and chat throughout the day. Love to have you in there. All right, next up, Interactive Brokers. Also a bullish bet that I put on, also taking advantage of a little pullback, trying to get better entries. So I got into this one yesterday. Again, it's a bullish trade. All the details can be found on the blog. But I think I was writing when I put this trade on, I was writing like, the brokers are kind of like, they're kind of like the drug dealer. No. Well, they are, but they're also like the blackjack dealer, right? The blackjack dealer, they just want you to bring their money to their table or bring your money to their table. They're going to teach you the rules of the game. They're going to encourage you. They're going to show you some cool little ways you can win at blackjack. And they're going to get you all excited. And really, they just know that they're just going to kind of chip away at your pile. Now, Interactive Brokers doesn't want to chip away at your pile. In fact, they have a vested interest in keeping you solvent. As long as you have money, you'll keep trading, and they're going to keep earning fees and earning spreads and all that stuff. So they want to keep you at the table. They want to bring, and then they want you to have your money at their table. Anyway, that has nothing to do with my trade other than the fact that if you can't beat them, join them. And this chart looks great. So we got long Interactive Brokers yesterday. So that's all I've got today for closed trades. We've updated the stops. I'll bring this back up for you guys here. Here's the sheet or the screen that has all the updated stops. If you want to take a screenshot, I know somebody likes to take screenshots of that and throw it into the chat room for everybody else in the All Star Options chat room. So go ahead and do that. Lastly, as always, if you want to subscribe to All Star Options, please do. That's the link there. All the links are there. They're also in the chat section in YouTube, so you can just click on that and get it. If you like the charts that I share here, TrendSpider.com is offering subscription discounts using my promo code Sean50. Go ahead and check them out. And if you have any questions at all about anything we talk about that we didn't get answered here in the chat, shoot me an email, info@allstarcharts.com. It'll get routed to me. I'll be happy to answer your questions. Of course, you could also find me on Twitter X if you're there. Options Sean is my handle. All right, folks, today's Thursday. We're not quite to the weekend, but it's starting to feel like it. So enjoy the rest of your holiday shortened week. Enjoy your weekend. NFL football gets started this weekend. I'm excited. Go Bills. I'll be back next week. I'll talk to you again soon. Take care, everybody.